right, it's 9 o'clock, so I'm going to go ahead and get started to honor everyone's time. Good morning and welcome to our virtual kindergarten registration event. I am Amy Stam, proud principal of Blayton Elementary, and on your screen, Ms. Van Lilleveld is our assistant principal, and she's going to be co-hosting with me. And Ms. Van Lilleveld, I'm not sure if everyone can see you, but go ahead and wave.
Hi, good morning.
In previous years, this event was scheduled for an in-person event, but due to COVID, we are having to change the circumstances. We still want this program to feel exciting, answer your questions, take a kind of look into what we do here at JBB and what your children will experience in kindergarten, and offer the first steps to our pre-registration process. So what we'll do is we'll go through the PowerPoint that we have here and definitely offer opportunities for questions. But at the end, if you haven't had a chance to ask, we will definitely give you a chance at the end to ask questions. Before we get started this morning, I want to point out a few logistical items. First thing that I want to let you know is that today's meeting is being recorded, so you can see that here on the screen. The other thing that I want to bring your attention to, down at the bottom of your screen, which should be down here, is the chat feature. Please use that feature to ask questions. We have a team of teachers on right now that are willing to be very respondent to that chat feature, and will answer questions as we go along. So without further ado, let's get started with meeting our current kindergarten staff. So first up is Ms. Harkman. Ms. Harkman has been with JBB since the opening of its existence, and we are so excited to have her with us. She is a phenomenal teacher. She will be celebrating the next steps in her career as she goes into retirement, so we're very excited for her, but we definitely wanted you to have the opportunity to meet such a wonderful teacher who has a great wealth of knowledge and experience that can offer to your information today. So Ms. Harkman, you want to say hello?
Hi, everybody. It's so exciting to be here, even if it's on a Zoom, to meet all of you. And I can speak also for the team that we're so excited for our newbies to come in August. I will be here at some point, maybe supporting them and subbing here at school. So I'm not leaving. But thanks for joining in. It's a great team. I can't say enough about them. So welcome.
Thank you, Ms. Harkman. Our next phenomenal teacher on the kindergarten team is Ms. Schleicher.
Hi, everyone. I'm excited for our new year to start next year so that we can get lots of new little students and start the year out right and have lots of fun and grow those little brains. Welcome.
Thank you, Ms. Schleicher. And our last current teacher on the kindergarten team is Ms. Sykes. She's currently our team lead. Ms. Sykes.
Good morning, everybody. We're so excited you're going to be with us here, and welcome to all your new little bumblebees. We're the bumblebees here at Blayton, and we're excited to have you. So welcome aboard.
Thank you, Ms. Sykes. I'm not sure if parents, but we have the best kindergarten team in the division. So you are in great hands, and very, very lucky that our children will be able to come together and get to be with them every single day. They will get them so excited about teaching and learning, and they will grow them into such phenomenal little people. So by the time they leave kindergarten next year, they are going to be little people, and it's going to be truly wonderful to see. And so being a part of that process are going to be this team. So we have new to JBB, coming with experience in kindergarten, is Miss Jacqueline. Miss Jacqueline, you want to offer some insight?
Hi, good morning, everybody. I am so excited to be a part of the team and to meet all of you next year. I guess we'll both be new bumblebees next year. So I'm so excited, and I can't wait to meet all of you.
Thank you, Ms. Jacqueline. And of course, Ms. Schleicher and Ms. Sykes are going to be on the team again next year, continuing with the wealth of experience and knowledge, and contributing each and every day to the growth of our little humans coming each day. And then returning to the kindergarten team from first grade. So she has kindergarten experience, but is bringing first grade experience back to kindergarten is Miss West. So Miss West, you want to say hello?
Good morning. I'm super excited to come back to kindergarten. I have always taught kindergarten since I graduated college, and then this year I got to broaden my horizons and move to first grade. And so now I really feel like I know, all right, this is what we're getting them ready for. This is what they need to know. So I'm really excited to come back to kindergarten and get to meet all of your little people. Super excited. And my son's coming to kindergarten too next year. So I have him down the hall with me.
Thank you, Ms. West. We're excited for you to come back to kindergarten too. So these people on the screen that have all introduced themselves and said hello to you are going to carry on the torch for Ms. Harkman and continue to make every day in kindergarten great and keep your children excited to come to school every day. And so we're very thankful that you're going to share your babies with us so that we can continue to grow them and make them into our big bumblebees. All right, so let's talk a little bit about our school counselor. Ms. Harris, you want to say hello?
Good morning, parents. I want to let you know how excited we are to have your bumblebees next year, and thank you so much for sharing them with us.
Ms. Harris has 3 children in the school currently right now. One's going to be going to middle school, but she will continue to have 2 little bumblebees here. So she knows what it means to be a mama with children being at school as well. And so we're very excited. And she has a lot to offer. She has a comprehensive counseling program. And so she is really easy to reach out to if there's anything that you need. She offers a lot of parent tips. And as you can see on the screen, there are some for you just to think about. This will be accessible to you outside of today. So if you want to go back and review this or look at it, please do, because we definitely want to be here to support you. And thank you, Ms. Harris. So let's get into the process of getting ready for kindergarten. Completing registration paperwork is definitely a necessary part of starting the enrollment process for your child. This may seem lengthy, but all of the requests and information is needed to ensure that your child can have a smooth start to kindergarten. In order to pre-register online, the first step is to determine that your child will be 5 years old or older on or before September 30th. As you are pre-registering online, the system does permit uploads of requested documents. Uploading requested documents prior to attending your scheduled in-person appointment at the school will expedite the final steps of the registration process, but it is not necessary. So if you're unable to do it, it is okay. We can certainly do that at school for you. We are required to see and verify the documents listed on the screen, so please be sure to bring them with you at your appointment. So you can see there's 2 proofs of residency, certified birth certificate, evidence of adequate immunizations, completed Virginia physical examination form. Just as a little caveat to this, if your child doesn't have a well child check or those next immunizations until the summer, that is totally fine. When you come in for your appointment, you'll just let them know that the doctor will fax that over prior to the start of school. So don't worry about that piece. You do not have to have that when you come for your appointment. If you do, that's great, but not a necessity as long as it happens before school starts. Before school begins, so there are a few things that we want to make sure that you do over the summer. Take time to start preparing the start for a successful start for your child in transitioning to kindergarten. Make certain they know their first and last name and home address. I know that sounds pretty simple, but that is a huge piece to supporting your child in success. Drive by the school so that your child can see their new school, practice walking to the bus stop, and get connected to the school so that they are aware of all the important things that come up. And we will communicate specific dates and times that your child will be invited to attend and informally meet and greet later in the summer to aid in their transition to kindergarten. So we will be offering something the week of August 9th through the 12th for children that are rising kindergartners to take advantage of. And we're going to be finalizing those details within the next month and making sure that we get those out to you. School entrance requirements. State law requires that your child is immunized and receives a comprehensive physical exam before entering public kindergarten or elementary school. The parent or guardian completes the health information part 1. Part 1 is all of the student demographic information, known health conditions, regular medications taken by your child, and the name and contact information of your child's pediatrician, dentist, and other medical providers. Your child's medical provider completes part 2, which is here, the immunization part. Your medical provider will do the physical examination part 3 and fill in that part for the immunizations and physical examination. This form must be completed no more than 1 year before your child's entry into school. The new school year begins on August 30th this year. And parents, you can get the school entrance health form from the division website, which is www.jccschools.org. And obviously, if you have any questions about this, please reach out to the main office because we will definitely guide you and support you as you go through this process. This is what the health information form looks like so that you have a visual. This is the part 1 that you're responsible for. All parents and guardians are responsible to complete this section only. This is part 2. This is where the immunizations are filled in by your medical provider or your healthcare provider, and they must sign saying that they have verified that these are the immunizations that have happened. Parents, you do not complete this part. And then part 3 is the physical exam, and that is also completed by the medical provider, and parents will not complete that form. So moving on into transportation. I think transportation is one of the biggest things that come up for families, especially those that have not been in the school system prior to this, and this is your child's and family's first experience. So we try to make it as easy as possible. There is a QR code there for you to reference, and certainly feel free to download it on the screen now. That is the bus route information log into our website there. Bus transportation is available to all kindergarten children living within their zone school of attendance. You can identify your child's bus stop location and pickup time by visiting our website. Parents can now download the free app, Here Comes the Bus, which uses GPS data and customizable map to show parents and guardians where the bus is and how close it is to your child's bus stop before and after school. I will tell you that sometimes it is a little off. As anything with technology, it can be a little off. So our people in the office are always by the phone, ready to answer if there's ever concern. So never hesitate to reach out to our main office if there's a concern with that, but definitely use this as a guide. Additionally, parents and guardians can receive push notifications or email messages when the bus has arrived at school or is near your child's stop. This needs to be submitted through the transportation. Well, actually, I'm going to go to that next. Your submission needs to go through another part, and so I'll get to that in just a second. If you're having difficulty accessing any information or there's an error in information, say there's a wrong address or a wrong stop, please call the transportation office here and use option 1 so that we can get it corrected. Transportation is kind of separate of the school, even though we collaborate together and to ensure the safety of the child and make sure that children come to and from school accurately, but they handle things on their side to deal with getting children bus stops and addresses. That's all handled with their department. We really encourage families to allow their child to ride the school bus to and from school to start that practice on the first day. Students thrive on consistency and knowing routines and expectations. And it's important to note that bus drivers will not release kindergartners at the bus stop in the afternoon unless a parent or assigned adult is present and ready to receive the child from the bus. So what happens in those situations is if a parent or guardian is not there, they will bring the child back to school. And so the child will need to be picked up at school. So we really encourage you to ensure that you know when the bus stops happen. Also, sometimes there are late buses, so having that QR code downloaded is very helpful so that you can get that GPS real-time things happening. So what's for lunch? This is a big question because our children love to eat school lunch. It's just a fun thing for them to do. But please note that we post the menus monthly online, and if your child does not find something on there that they like, please do send them food that they like, because we want to make sure that they are healthy and are eating throughout the day so that they can use that food for energy and nourishment to get that brain continuously growing. Lunch and breakfast menus for the upcoming month are usually available by the last week of the previous month. Parents can visit wjccschools.org/lunch or scan the QR code that's on our screen right now. If your child has a particular food interest or limits and limited favorites, we suggest reviewing the menu with your child and making that a part of a decision-making process to select certain days that your child will eat lunch at school. If your child has any food allergies, please be sure to share that information with the school nurse so that we can have that on file and make the classroom teacher notified. Right now, the cost of breakfast is $1.40 and the cost of lunch is $2.75. That could change. This past school year, all students received free lunch and breakfast because the federal government provided that. So it just depends on if there's a waiver granted, that could happen. But in the meantime, we want to make sure that you have the lunch and breakfast noted. All right. So here's what I was talking about before. Sign up for text alerts. So it's really important if you are someone who lives by your phone, like most of us do, to ensure that you can get real-time information immediately. And to do that, the school division sends important reminders and alerts via phone call, email, and text messages. So when you receive a text from 67587, please type yes to receive alerts on your phone and on your personal cell phone. All right. I'm just taking a second to pause and look at the chat to see if there's anything about this information. I'm just going to go up. I see that we're getting answers. So this call is being recorded. This is for the good for the group. Kindergartners will not be released unless it's written agreement with transportation. We are allowing water bottles during the day. In fact, we encourage water bottles because we are not allowed to share any materials, items amongst students, and so therefore our water fountains are shut off. We do have a bottle water filling station, but we aren't allowed for students to use water fountains because the sanitizing in between cannot happen successfully to keep everyone safe. So we do encourage that. And just for future reference, as far as snacks, water, those kinds of things, your teachers are really great about communicating what can be brought, what cannot be brought. The biggest thing to remember is individually wrapped things are important for your child because we can't share items. Not sure what regulations and procedures will look like in the fall, but we are going to be on the side of caution to ensure that we just keep everyone safe during these times. Our lives, as you know, have changed, and so we just try to be proactive in preparing for our next steps.
All right. You really quick, Dr. Stam. There was one question asking where the recording was going to be posted. Do we know where that will be?
Absolutely. Thank you for bringing that up. It's going to be on our website and on, we're going to try to shoot out through social media and on the division website. So thank you for asking that. All right, now moving into our next part of the program is parent view. This is the part that is really important to have because this is where you access class websites, you get to see grades. Obviously in kindergarten, we're not talking about letter grades, but there are informational grades such as whether they're on, below, or above where their same age peers are on the standards of learning. Assignments are there, and it's where you can keep track of your child's attendance. So we encourage you to either use this QR code or visit the website here to understand and how to be a part of Parent View. Now, I will tell you, you will not have a code yet. You will get a code for Parent View to sign in to your child's account once they're fully registered. So that typically happens in August that you'll get that. Next steps for you. So we want to make sure that we are very clear about what we need you to do to fully enroll our newest bumblebees. So we want you to visit our school website or call the main office to schedule an appointment to come in and complete the registration process so your child is enrolled at the start of school August 30th. Now remember, that is before Labor Day. It is a new calendar approved selection this year. So we want to make sure that you put that on your calendar because we want all of our bumblebees to be here the first day of school. So for quick reference, if you would like our number now, you can see there, it's 757-565-9300. Miss Gillum is our registrar, Miss Boyer is our senior admin, and Miss Brinkley is our part-time receptionist. All three of these ladies are accessible, they are supportive, and can help you in any way, shape, or form. Ms. Gillum is the one that you will be making an appointment with, and she will help you to turn in all the appropriate paperwork to be fully registered. Stacy Cooper is our nurse, and she will be the one who will be contacting you if we do not have the appropriate health immunizations or the physical form necessary to be fully enrolled. Our school address is 800 Jolly Pond Road, Williamsburg, Virginia, 23188. Sometimes that doesn't come up on GPS as easily because a lot of people go across the street to Hornsby, but when you come in, we're the school on the left. We're not the school on the right. So if you've never been here before, we're the school on the left. For those of you that have been here, you know what to do. So let's look at our first day of school. We want to make sure that your child is fully prepared, and it's very important that you remember these things. Our school will provide name tags, so please ensure that your child wears it the first few days of school. It helps our school staff with assisting our youngest students to their appropriate location. It is very important to start on the day one, building positive routines. So please consider allowing your child to ride the school bus, discuss how to remain seated on the bus, and remember that an adult must be present at the bus stop for the driver to release a kindergartner from the bus in the afternoon. One of the things I can assure you is that when children arrive to JBB, we have a number of amazing faculty and staff who are on duty in the morning. So if they do not have a classroom, homeroom, they are a duty person. And we line the halls with them. So our children are directed, they are greeted, they are so excited and happy to meet them, and they guide them to their classes very easily. Our kindergarten teacher assistants are on the sidewalks and lining them up. So it really is a seamless process. In the mornings, if your child happens to be a car rider, there are people that will get them out of the car and get them into the school and direct them to their classes. So it's very, very seamless, very safe. Safety is of the utmost importance to all of us at JBB. So we want to ensure that if our children are safe, they can learn. And so we ensure by putting all of the people that we can, all hands on deck to make sure that they're safe. And last but not least, we want to make sure before we answer any questions that we strongly encourage everyone to follow the division and our school and social media, our school websites and our social media. take pride in sharing all the many positive things happening in our school, because we have a lot of amazing things happening here. And we want you to be a part of that and see the great things that are happening. So we are on Facebook through our PTA, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, and we're on YouTube. So please be sure to find us and follow us, and we will definitely make sure that you have all information necessary to set you up for success for August 30th. So now at this time, we have a little bit of time for questions. So I'm going to pop back up, open the chat and see if there's anything that was good for the group that I can answer and pass along. This is a question about a waiver. Some of our students have out of zone request. So if that's the case, you must go to your home school first. Let that principal sign off, and that principal will send it to the receiving school to sign off, and then send to the division for approval. So that is the process with that. Let's see. So the Bright Beginnings situation is a little different. They're already registered, so you just need to make sure that you talk with Ms. Gillum in the main office about how to roll that over. So if your child is in Bright Beginnings, their information's in our student information system already, and we'll need to roll that over. Obviously, we'll still need the proof of residency and those pieces if anything's changed, but Ms. Gillum will be the one to walk you through that. Now, I would like to encourage you to unmute yourselves and certainly ask questions. I'm going to stop sharing so that I can open the screen up a little bit more and see more people. So, all right. So here we are. Thank you all for being here. What questions do you have?
What are you doing for registration? Are you doing like an online sign up for sports before school starts for athletics? Or are you doing that as soon as school starts, a little bit into the week?
So JBB, in all of the 9 elementary schools, we have what are called ship clubs. That does not happen until later in the fall, but that is for grades 3 through 5. Kindergarten through 2nd grade, they can go through Parks and Rec and those opportunities outside of school, but the school division does not have any athletic opportunities for the younger grades yet.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
One more question, just because I don't see anybody else unmuted. I think there was a website where there was discussion because of COVID and extending the school year. All the moms are calling it the European schedule, but it was talking about how you were going to start school after the Labor Day. Did that not start, or because I saw you said August 30th would be the first day?
Yes, ma'am. The school board has approved the calendar for the 21-22 school year, and the start date is August 30th.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Has anything been discussed at the division level, anticipating a traditional open house in the summer, or has that not come up yet?
There has been conversation about that, Ms. McCormick, but we have not come to a full understanding of what it will look like, because we do not know what the governor will predict and tell us to do in the future. Our hope is to have a traditional open house like we normally do, where groups of children come in, can bring their items, all of the wonderful things that we do to welcome our families for the first time before the first day of school, so that children can get familiar. But it has not been determined yet that what that will really look like yet.
Thanks.
You bet.
Good morning.
Go ahead, Kevin.
Thank you. Sorry about that. I had a quick question about the online register or the in-person registration piece, where we can bring some of the documents. Just wondering when that will start, and also I know I was always excited to find out who my teacher was and things like that, when we could expect those notices to go out.
Yeah, those are great questions. Thank you. So as far as the registration process, you can contact the main office now and Ms. Gillum can set an appointment up with you to bring that paperwork in. So that process can start now. Typically in the past, and I'm just going to hopefully assume we're going to be on a similar schedule. It's usually the middle of August. I would imagine with an earlier start, it'll be the first couple weeks of August that those teacher letters will come out. We work really, really hard to heterogeneously make our groups of children in classes so that children are with all different types of students so they can learn from each other, because children really do thrive off peer learning. So those classes will be made this summer and we will get that information out. It's typically middle of August, but I would imagine with the earlier start, it'll be the first couple of weeks. And our kindergarten team comes in and really makes wonderful classes so that they get to know each and every child, and it's a very prescriptive and personal event that they do to make sure the children are set up for success.
My name's Tyler Meldrum. We currently live in another school zone in the division, but we will be moving to the JBB zone over the summer. Very excited to meet all of you and to bring our new kindergartner as well as our will-be third grader to the school. I was wondering, because we're switching school zones midsummer, what should our timeline look like for registration? Should we wait until our new residence is established and do that, or do we need to get our kindergartner on the radar of the division early and then change the address later? Is there any best practice about that?
I would encourage you to register so that we can account for your child. And then I would encourage you to contact Miss Gillum and let her know that, so she can have be on the lookout for your children to come through the queue. That's what it's called. When you register online, it goes into a queue, and then she's the one who has access to it, and she can pull them in and contact you and tell you, these are the things that we need. So I would encourage you just to put it on her radar so she's aware that they're coming.
Okay, thank you. And one other more general question that isn't specific to preparing for kindergarten. Since we are moving to JBB, I just have some general questions about the school and its various policies and how they'll affect our third grader as well. Will there be a good forum for me to bring those questions up? Should I just reach out to the school directly? Is there a way just for like new families to get oriented to JBB?
Absolutely. Please contact me. Call the main number and ask for Amy Stam, and I will walk you through anything that you need. I'll be happy to do that. And I encourage anybody to do that. I want you to be as welcomed and successful and feeling great, because these are your babies and we're going to love them, but we want to help you understand how we can help you do that.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. Any other questions?
I actually have a question. I typed it into the chat, but I'll just go ahead and ask it. I know you already answered this for Bright Beginnings, but if my child is registered for the Rec Connect for before and after care, do I need to resubmit the immunizations in the physical form, or will that be in the system already as well?
So I know that it's probably a pain, but Rec Connect's not a part of WJCC schools. It's an outside entity. It's with the Parks and Rec. So yes, you're going to have to submit it again.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. But the great thing is JBB has before and after school Rec Connect here. So you don't have to have them transported a lot of places. So that's a good thing.
Do you offer is it like an app for pickup? So like if he's a car rider, is there something that I need to check him out first and then you have to verify who's picking him up? Because there's been instances where, Joe Schmo comes to pick up my child and I'm like, nobody verified that it wasn't going to be me. So that's kind of like.
Yes, a great question. And we do have a very, very secure system. So there are people that you will put on an emergency card, that you will tell us who is and isn't allowed to pick up your child. One of the things that Ms. Gillum and the ladies in the front office do, that if it's not the parent and we do not have a note from the parent saying that a different person other than the parent's picking up, they will contact the parent and say, so-and-so is here to pick up your child, but I don't have anything saying that they're able to be picked up. So do you give them permission or not? So that is something that is in place here, and it is very, we make it a huge practice of ours because safety is first. As far as pickup for car rider, we do have a system for that. You will, in August, fill out a car tag form. You'll get assigned a car tag number, and that's your only number for your child. So when that number goes into the system to notify the teacher that their child, that child needs to be picked up, it's identified to you. If we do not know you, and it can't identify that car number to you, we'll ask you for ID. I will tell you, anytime anybody comes to pick up a child, whether you're the parent, we know you or not, you have to bring ID.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good. And I don't mean to offend anybody by this question, but do you do active shooter drills in this grade?
Yes, ma'am, we do. We do all of our safety drills. We have fire drills, intruders, what they're called, intruder drills, tornado drills or high wind, earthquake drills, and the intruder drills are actually done with and without James City County Police Department. So we make sure that we've thought through every angle, possibility, situation that we can to the best of our ability. Obviously, we're not going to think of everything, but we want to be as thorough as possible to ensure the safety of our kids. And the other thing to note, if you aren't a parent of ours already and you're going to be, is that we have buzz-in systems. So in order to get into our school, you have to buzz in the front door, but every other door, in order to get in, you have to have a badge to get in. And then inside the school, once you're in, you can't go into the interior of the school without buzzing in at that point too. So it's a very secure process. And our teachers are very, all of our staff are really in tune to ensure that doors are closed behind them, that they are locked, so that we are all safe inside the building to the greatest extent possible.
And can I add to that, Dr. Stam? I feel like in kindergarten, we try and make it very not a scary thing. Like we'll bring storybooks in, we'll read books. It's not because we have bathrooms in our room. So that's where our space is, in our bathroom, but it's not there's a shooter in our building. Like that's never what we would tell kindergartners. We try and make it as the less amount of scary that we can.
Thank you, Ms. West. All right, I'm checking the chat, but are there any other questions?
Hi, this is Melanie, and I apologize if I missed this. I did have to pop out for a minute, but I was wondering, is there any affiliated with the school before and after care programs, or is that something that you have to find on your own? We're new to the area, so I'm trying to figure that out.
Not a problem. Thank you for asking. So you would want to contact, if you're interested in this, there are several in the county, and you can definitely research that. But as far as what's on our campus is through Parks and Rec, James City County Parks and Rec, and it's called Rec Connect. And that is before and after school care. There are others such as WISC, Bayplex. There's several other opportunities if you're interested, but this is the one that's on our campus.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. I'm going to take another question, and after that, I'm going to just offer you to give me a call if you have any others. So anybody else have one more question? All right, well, great. Again, thank you so much for joining us today. We are so excited to get started for the new year with you. I'm going to please remind you to reach out to Ms. Gillum to set up an appointment, to bring in your paperwork, to finalize the registration process. If you have any friends out there who have not registered their child, and please encourage them to, because our staffing in kindergarten depends on the number of children that are coming in, and we want to make sure that we have wonderful class sizes, small, nice, wonderful class sizes. So if we know about children coming, we are able to make sure that they're nice and small and very intimate for our kiddos coming in. And then last but not least, if you have questions, you need more information, please contact me. I'm Amy Stam. I'm the principal. You can reach me by email, or you can call the main office, and I will do anything in my power to ensure that this is a smooth transition for you. All right, I'm going to stay on as everyone gets off. So if you have one more question, you can still get to me. But other than that, you may go. And I hope you have a wonderful day, and thank you for attending.
Amy, I see that a lot of people are hopping off, so I thought maybe I'd try to sneak in a question really quickly before trying to find a separate time to call you, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
What is JBB's homework policy? Is there homework mandated for any grades, older grades, anything like that?
We actually, we really don't believe in homework as so much as putting new information out there for children to learn on their own outside of school. We do send extra practice home. That's not always consistent because it depends on what the children are learning. I will say in more of the 4th and 5th grades, they typically will add an extra practice assignment if it's something that's new and they need more support with, they need more practice. But we try to really value the opportunity to do what we can with the children while we have them, so that we ensure that they are learning the skills appropriately, because lots of things have changed since some of our parents have been to school. And so we want to be able to support them to the greatest extent. And so we make sure that that happens with us.
I really appreciate that response. I mean, that does seem to be, I'm not in education, but that does seem to be like the best scientifically supported practice. So I'm really happy to hear that. I did want to ask one other question too about recess during inclement weather. I know that in my older daughter's current school, we've had some problems getting active time when recess has been held indoor. And I wanted to know about JBB's policy about, if it's a torrential downpour, will they be doing yoga or something inside, or, under what conditions would they be not allowed to go outside for active recess?
Absolutely. Well, obviously, if it's inclement weather, they will not go outside. But the one really amazing thing about this school is that kids are moving all day. They do not stay sedentary for a long period of time. They're doing brain breaks, they're doing go noodle, they're doing tons of activity. You can walk into any one of their classrooms and see them, standing up between rotations, because children, we recognize that children can be sedentary for 1 times their age, right? So for about 5 minutes is as much as we're going to get them. So we recognize that and make sure that we are constantly keeping them engaged, keeping them moving. Kinesthetic learning is a huge part of kindergarten. Mm-hmm. So they learn letters and sounds and all kinds of things using kinesthetics. So those little bodies are going. They're exhausted when they come home because they're constantly moving. I think the teachers are too, but the kids definitely are.
As a parent, I'm really thrilled to hear that the children come home exhausted. That's a really important feature for me as a parent. I think the last question I was curious about is, can you say something about the demographic diversity at JBB? I know nothing about the school, so I'm just curious, how diverse is it?
Absolutely. We're probably not the most diverse in the division, but we're about the middle of the line. Okay. We have a nice mixed population. We have students who are English language learners. We have students who are of minority. We have a nice mix of children here. So I wouldn't say we have the highest population of students who are English language learners, or we are more Caucasian, but we do have a nice demographic mixture of children, and it's just beautiful to see. It really is. It's a nice mix. But again, I'm gonna say, I know CBB is more demographically mixed and definitely
Sure.
James River.
Yeah, and we know
Matthew
that
Bailey.
these frequently fall along socioeconomic lines, and that's not a surprise. I assume that the students who are not in the majority are well mixed across different kindergarten and other grade classes, and there's no sequestering of anyone in silos in that way.
Absolutely not. We love to ensure that there are nice heterogeneous mixes across all of the categories. We make sure that happens.
That's great. Thank you so much for taking the time to answer my questions. You can tell I got up just in time for the meeting, so I'm going to go and get ready for the rest of my day. But thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you for joining. Again, reach out if you have any other questions.
I will.
Thank you. All right.
I just
Ms.
want to say
McCormick,
hi,
you have a question?
Lindsay.
Oh, Lindsay.
Hey.
Ms. McCormick saying hello.
Hi, welcome.